doing?
In my defence, you were home like much earlier than you said you'd be.
Well, did you at least start tea?
No.
Did you put a wash on?
No.
Or did you... What's it for?
Actually, it's funny you should say that, because I've been playing Broforce, and this is what I think about it.
Look, here's the thing. Broforce is amazing. It truly is one of this year's most memorable titles, and yet it does nothing particularly unique. It is at its core an action platformer akin to indie classics such as Spelunky and Super Meat Boy, but with the tight gunplay of retro titles like Metal Slug and Contra thrown in for good measure. This makes for a game that is arguably by the numbers, but the thing that really sets Broforce apart is its utter ridiculousness. You see, in Broforce you play as action heroes from real life films and other forms of media. You play as Rambo, and John McClane, and Robotop, and Mr. T. You also play as many, many others, but saying them out loud here almost feels like spoilers. These characters are so beautifully recreated, their unique abilities and powers so faithful to their source materials, that discovering them on your own is a wonderful experience in of itself. Gameplay consists of you assuming the role of a randomly selected titular bro at the start of every level, before leaping through swarms of enemies in order to get to a helicopter at the end of the course. On your way, you can rescue prisoners, which act as both lives and a collectible. However, every time you gain a life, you randomly change into a completely different bro. This means that throughout your time with Broforce, you never actually stay as one character for more than maybe 40 to 50 seconds at a time. You're constantly switching between a large number of very unique characters, which makes for a fascinatingly engaging and exhilarating experience. At first I almost saw not being able to manually select my character as a flaw, but I quickly realised that constantly adapting your playstyles to accommodate for a character's abilities is a really fresh feature that I didn't grow tired of for any of the 5 to 6 hours I spent with the game. The game controls beautifully as well. It's one of those rare titles where a mistake is always your fault. Oh, you died? Well, that's because you didn't jump quickly enough, you silly prit. At times it plays an awful lot like Super Meat Boy with guns. Take that as you will. All environments can also be destroyed. Did I mention that? Did I mention that every level descends into carnage, body bits flying through the air as barrels explode one by one, huge chunks of terrain destroyed, making platforming trickier than you initially expected? Well, that happens. And it's really good fun. It's an awfully well presented game to boot. The graphics, although pixelated, are very well produced. Characters, enemies, levels, backgrounds, they're all impressively made and thematically cohesive as well. There are a few modes to choose from. There's a campaign mode which sees you liberating locations around the globe. There's an arcade mode which lets you just play through the levels one by one. There's a 4-player co-op mode which is way too hectic to be enjoyable if you ask me, but well, it's an option. There's also a level editor and the ability to play other people's levels as well. There's loads of stuff basically, and all of it's bloody great. Apart from that 4-player co-op, that's just... yeah, that might just be me though. I can't even play Super Mario 3D World with more than 2 players. I just find it really disorientating. All in all, Broforce is a love letter to all things heroic. It's fundamentally a comedic game, but it's also a very sincere one. This is a game that oozes charm but feels like the labour of love. You can play as Robotop. If that doesn't make you want to play it, I honestly don't know what will.
So yeah, it's out on PC now and on PlayStation 4 next year, and when it's on PS4 it's going to be great. Hopefully it'll be like a PlayStation Plus kind of game at some point, because it just feels like the perfect kind of game for that.
Okay, you did not need me for this. Get her up some bloody face. It's too much to ask for.
Yeah, that was good. Hi, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more things like this. We're going to try and do more stuff like this. Subscribe if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. Bye bye. Terrible.
Why would you tell them to not recommend it?
That's just my style to watch.